What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. We are back in the Molten Citadel Chaos 10, and today I'm going to take another look at a few different variations of the Sonic Bats. I know a lot of people are liking the Sonic Bats. I personally, this is not my favorite defense from the Hunter, but a lot of folks are saying that it's pretty darn good. So with that in mind, we're going to try a couple of different setups and kind of compare the variations. Now, let's see. I think I want, let's get Deadly Strikes on our Boostara and get a big old fatty Boostara here. That way we only need one. Something like that. And then we'll go a Destructive Pylon here and another Destructive Pylon here. That's also going to give me a little bit more range on that Boostar to make the placements a little bit easier. Now, in addition to that, we are going with some werewolves. I love my doggos. Of course, you can use any wall that you want. The Werewolf Commander, although expensive, has just quickly become my favorite wall. I just plain like it. We'll throw down some reflect beams for these guys. Let's do that all the way around. So we'll werewolf it. And we'll werewolf it a little bit back on the top stair, and then that gives me the opportunity to put the reflect beam on the stair right below. That one's a little bit off center there, but I think it'll be okay. All right, and then let's see what that leaves. That leaves 500 DU. Now I'm going to need some buff beams. We've got our boosts in, so we're going to be able to throw down a ton of these Sonic Bats, I think. Being only 40 DU definitely gives you a little room to play here. So what, if we went 4 of them, that would be 160. So that would put us at 480. So that would get it. So actually that doesn't get it because we still need buff beams. So I think we're going to need 3 of them. So let's go just something like that. And we could find a way to maximize our Boostar or our buff beam here as well, but I think I am just going to throw it down, and I'm not going to worry about that. And then let's go 3 of them here. And then what is that going to leave me? Doesn't leave me a whole lot. Now, we could take our Boostar and, like, do something like that. It's not going to reach there, though. And I would have to move that Boostar over to the side. I keep calling the wrong thing. You guys know what I mean. The buff beam. I think what we'll do is we'll just put down individual buff beams. Let's just do it. Let's just go something like that. Hard to find the spot here. And then something like that. And a little spendy on the buff beam action, but I think we'll be okay. So let's just, we'll go ahead and throw our 400 mana into the Sonic Bats. We'll put just 2 upgrades on each lane. And then 3 on that first lane. And let's see how it holds. Now the doggos, I think, are going to have to put in some work in this configuration. We'll have to see here. Let's check it out. The Sonic Bats, they won't target through terrain, but the projectile will pierce terrain. So if an enemy is targetable and in line of sight, the projectile will continue to fly and go through the terrain. So that's quite handy, that is for sure. It's actually pretty smooth running with this setup. I mean, we don't, obviously early in the wave, but the only thing making it to the wall is the Chieftains. That explosion damage is actually quite considerable, because remember, it's 110% of the base damage. So it's doing a nice boom, that's for sure. The projectile looks just crazy cool. I mean, it's definitely very fitting for a Sonic Bat. Yeah, this is actually clearing way better than I expected. I really thought that the doggos were going to have big packs on top of them, but it's just clearing as the enemies get to it. without any real major issue. Doesn't look like we're getting much of a benefit of that continuing projectile. I'm sure a few of the shots are hitting some enemies in the back, but it seems like they're going quite high in several areas here. We don't have anything down for our flyers, so I will have to manually kill the flyers. I wonder if we can actually move the sonic bats over so that they'll hit the flyers. Let's actually let's try to tweak the outside ones. We'll go something like that, and then we'll tweak it around that way. And let's see how that does. And then do the same thing over here. Not sure if they're going to target the flyers. We're going to have to see here. But here we go, wave number 2. Let's give it one more look, or one more wave of a look with this setup before we switch shards. Now, the Sonic Bat, although it doesn't feel like it should, it does need Piercer Servo. So to get the full damage in on the little shieldy goblins, or to get through those bubbles, you're going to need Piercer Servo on them. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like they are targeting the flyers. So, I mean, a couple of them are getting in a little uncomfortably close, but no problem on the flyers at all. I could move the inner two, change the angle on 2 of those as well for when the flyers come, give an extra sonic bat per lane. All right, let's check out against Mr. Ogre here and see how he fares. Actually, big damage. I mean, it's chunking him. Definitely taking huge chunks off of him. Sonic Bat's not too bad, y'all. They're not too bad. I don't think it's anyone's favorite out there, but I do think it is quite powerful. Yeah, pretty much smooth sailing throughout. With that projectile piercing, we're getting the benefit of getting some of those mobs that normally get stuck on this map. We get the benefit of taking some of those guys out. So we're getting a little build up on the wall here. Did I forget to put automation on my wolf? It looks like I may have forgotten to put automation on the old werewolf. I'll have to check that there. He shouldn't be taking that much damage. All right, there we go. Let's check the old wolf out here. Oh, look at that. No automation for the loss. That should help things out quite a bit. Now let's move some things around on the Sonic Bat. Instead of going with natural frequency for that explosion, let's just stack more raw power. So we'll go with a triple stack, basically. Mass destruction and destruction. But then we also get a power stack from overpowering Screech. So gives us a triple stack here, which is quite nice, no doubt. And then let's actually angle those 2 bats and see if that helps the flyer situation out any. Which, I mean, I didn't have to kill any of those flyers, but of course we want to maximize their usage. Go something like that. We'll throw a couple of upgrades back on each one. And let's let it fly here. Now, let's just see. I think that enemies are going to be getting one-tapped with that triple stack of power. We will see, though, if that explosion seems like it's making up for more than getting that raw power gain. Nothing making it to the walls yet. Looks like we got a little something over here getting uppity. Couple of chieftains, but the first one died off as soon as I looked at it. Seems to be doing quite well, really. And then, of course, we got the siege roller we're going to have to go deal with. Very, very nice. I mean, it's definitely getting the job done. You know, one of the good things about Chaos 10 is it gave us a whole lot of diversity. As far as doing your end game farming, really most of it should be taking place in Chaos 10 expeditions to maximize your gold and drops and everything else. And they did a really incredible job with it, given so much diversity to the tier. It's not like, you know, another tier where you just can't do things. You're able to use, well, walls plus anything else, is what I always say, and I really think that is true. We got a Malthius here coming down now. You can see the health chunking off, though. It's doing good bits of damage here. It feels like it aims a little bit high. I guess it's adjusting for like those little skellies that were there. Then Malthius is going to take his time getting up the stair here. Come on out, Malthius. I don't think Malthius is going to do it, huh? We'll just burn him. Make life a little bit easier. Now, I don't think there's anything else I would want to try. We are... Let me see where we're at on the caps. Okay, we're not at the range cap. I believe it's 5,000. But we're not that far off. Let's just double check that real quick and see what it is. 5,500. Okay, so we are a little ways off from the range cap. So I guess there is an option for looking at the rest of the match. Now, I think I will get rid of regular destruction before getting rid of overpowering screech. But you know what? Let's try it. A lot of people say that the diminishing returns is not too terrible here on this one, but let's go ahead and try it. So we'll get destruction back in there, deadly strikes, and a mass destruction to get a little bit more range out of the deal. We're at the range cap now, and as you see, like that Malthius shouldn't be an issue now because they will hit down to there. But let's see how it goes. I feel like maybe with the more focused, smaller targeting area, it might actually be a little bit better off. I think any configuration, really, I'm not seeing a noticeable difference between any of them. I think any of those setups would be quite viable for just like AFK grinding in Chaos 10. Check out the captain here. Hopefully we get another Malthius so we can see if those guys will hit Malthius down there. The captain just getting owned. Definitely not too bad overall. Now, once again, with a build like this, it makes it for an easy clear. But some of those lower lanes, it is quite a long walk, so you're making the map run longer than you could make it run if you were going with something like dragons or Nimbus or whatever that will reach all the way over to the spawn. It's definitely getting it, though. You can do it. There we go. Nice little pack here, but none of it is building up at all. The range Gobus seem like they have a little bit of a sweet spot down there, where it looks like the projectile may have been shooting over their heads. But every now and then you see it aimed downward. I think it would probably work out better if the bats were up on the rails. I think that might give a little bit better line of sight, and it'll keep that projectile aimed downward to go down the slope for those continuing shots a little bit more. Quib's rolling out. Quib's is just going to get demolished. Very nice. And I've completely ignored the flyers for the last couple of waves. Haven't even looked at them. And that just tells me that the bats are clearing them no problem. Because I forgot. All right, we got some hex throwers that are kind of stopped in a bad spot down there. Want to manually burn them out. And then we got one. Or no, it's just a slow walker. Not too shabby. I don't know if there is another configuration I would want to try. But I think all three of those did quite well. Let's just go ahead and let it run with the max range on here. I feel like with the shorter range, you had a lot more stopping power. So even though the range wasn't as long, enemies were still not making it up the stairs very far because they were just getting slapped. But I guess situationally, getting out to the max range would definitely be of benefit. The Borks are one tap. It looks like the Frost Orcs are taking two. And then the Chieftain, of course, are popping their heels. We got another Siege Roller coming out. Even when the lane starts to get congested, it just gets burned through. Hex throwers are an issue, but that's about it. They're stopping a little outside of the range. Of course, hex throwers, if they have line of sight, they're going to take shots. They don't care if you're on the moon and they are down here. They're still going to reach you. Got a big old buildup coming up over here right now, but I think that is going to just get melted through. Now, on those situations where you do have that large congestion, that's where that explosive shard would really pay off. The range on that, of course, is really small, so if the enemies aren't right on top of each other, you're not really going to get any benefit from it. There we go, the final push. How's the... Yeah, the flyers are just getting handled, because they're all a one-tap. So it doesn't take much to take out the flyers. Got another hex thrower down there holding up the lane. And then we probably got hex throwers over here as well. Yeah, I mean, besides the range issues with the hex throwers, it doesn't really look like anything else was a problem in any of those configurations. So I think really the sky's the limit for shards. Once you get a proper mod set up, you can just kind of use whatever beneficial shards you want and are able to get the job done. But there is another look at the Sonic Bat in 3 different configurations. But thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to click that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And I will be back soon with some more Dungeon Defenders 2. Thanks again, y'all. I'll see you next time.